My cherished viewers, I welcome you to Umseeka TV. It's your host, Adjoa Ejipoma, and I have in the studio with me today, Mr. Kenneth Brony. Ken, I welcome you to Umseeka TV.
Thank you very much, Adjoa, and thank you for having me.
Hope you're good.
I'm doing well.
My wonderful viewers, before we will go to today's topic, please, I would want you to subscribe, like, share, comment on Umseeka TV on YouTube. Ken, our topic for today is, do you think marriage should be based on gender roles or partnership? But before I start with our topic, or before we discuss our topic for today, I would want to read a quote to you. It says, "Pray once when going to war, pray twice when going to sea, but pray 3 times when getting married." Do you think marriage should be based on gender roles or partnership?
All right. Thank you very much for your question. I think this is a very interesting one, and based on the quotes you gave out, it even makes the question more difficult than I anticipated. It is true that marriage is definitely a union between two people. So whenever two people are coming together, there are some level of expectations with both parties. And I believe, yes, it is either going to be a partnership arrangement or some kind of gender roles. Now, in my honest opinion, it should be a gender role arrangement between the two parties coming together. And I have my reasons for that, actually.
So why do you think marriage should be based on gender roles?
Well, I think marriage should be based on gender roles for a number of reasons, and I'll state a number of them and try as much as I can to explain myself, because this is a very interesting preposition I'm putting out over here. Now, if you say marriage should be on partnership, which I don't believe, then it becomes more of some kind of a business arrangement. Okay. So two partners coming together, they are investing into something and they are looking out for proceeds. So at the end of the day, they have a stake in whatever thing that goes in there. And under normal circumstances, that's how marriage should be, because at the end of the day, the man and the woman may have to contribute one way or the other. But also looking at it from a gender role perspective, it is also coming up with something because of the fact that you are the man. It is also having a responsibility because of the fact that you are a woman. So for instance, let's assume that it is not, or it shouldn't be based on gender roles. Then naturally certain things would take its course. So for instance, let's say children are supposed to come in. It is a woman who is going to carry the children for 9 months. That is a gender role. It cannot be a partnership where the man would have to carry the baby. Okay? So, like I said, naturally, there are some responsibilities that comes with it. And as humans, we can also forge the other ones to follow suit. And that's what I believe in.
Okay, so what are some of the roles you think a man or a woman should have? Just be specific. Give me the roles a man should play during marriage, and then the roles a woman should play during marriage.
So there are quite a number of them, and I believe it will depend on the kind of people who are getting married, and perhaps maybe even family background, family size, and a number of things. So for instance, the kind of responsibility a man will have with, let's say, a family size of 5 people will not be the same as somebody with 10 people having that number of dependents. But basically, a man is supposed to be the head of the family. So I believe a man should be the financial head, the spiritual head, and any other head that comes along the way. So if there is any direction to go, it should be the man's responsibility to step in as, I'm taking the lead, follow me. Maybe not in an autocratic manner, but then at the end of the day, the man should be seen as the one fronting everything or any decision the family takes. That's very important. One of the roles a man should take is to be responsible enough. Okay, so for instance, in as much as the man is the head and perhaps maybe you could delegate other roles to other members of the family. For instance, maybe the wife or the first child or any other dependents. It is a man who is the head, so any responsibility that comes should first fall on the man, and that decision needs to be made. Now, one of the things that we cannot run away from is the fact that there's a lot of financial or economic responsibility when it comes to taking care of a family. Even taking care of yourself alone as a single individual will come with some level of financial commitments. I mean, you need to eat, you need to have shelter, you need to have other things, some social life you need to live. So definitely the man should be able to step up to the play that yes, I'm the man, I'm taking these responsibilities because that is my role. Now, on the other side, yes, the woman should also have a role. And one of the things I stated, which may come across as trivial to some people, is the woman bearing the responsibility of taking care of the home. And that starts with bearing children or carrying children for 9 months. So it is the woman's responsibility, okay? And for that one, the man, yes, would definitely have to support with some few things, because if, for instance, your wife, before getting pregnant, was able to work for, let's say, 2 hours at home, definitely the responsibility of carrying a baby means that woman may not even, in some cases, may not even work up to 30 minutes. So it then becomes the responsibility of the man to come in. So at the end of the day, it should be gender-based role, but there should be some level of flexibility between what you do at what time, depending on the circumstances available to the family.
So, do you think if the man is not financially stable and then he can't handle the home, do you think the lady can take up that role?
My mindset about financial responsibility is that the man should take 100% responsibility. Okay, that may sound very outrageous looking at the current economic conditions we find ourselves in, but that's my honest opinion. And I'll give you 2 examples. I honestly don't think people like Dangote, who is the richest person in Africa, will wake up in the morning or one time and be thinking, how much is my wife going to contribute before the family will function? Mm-hmm. That's a fact. So it's a matter of the mindset of the man. Because if you know you are the man and there's a gender-based role, the woman is not going to tell you that, oh, I've carried the baby for 6 months, so come and continue the next 3 months for me. You should also know that there's a responsibility for you in terms of the financial responsibility. Okay? But then, let's face the honest truth. Not all men are going to be like Dangote. Some are going to be like me, who may not have it all. So definitely, the woman can come in as and when it becomes necessary. But the man should have that mentality that you are the one taking care of the family, and for which reason every financial responsibility falls on you. So, to answer your question in the context of an average man, let's say an average man is somebody who maybe earns as much as his wife, okay, or his partner. Then in that case, it becomes a little bit of, like I said, it should be a gender-based role arrangement, but then there should be some level of flexibility. So as and when the circumstances demand for some change, the two should sit together and make that work for them.
And don't you think some men are taking advantage of what you are saying and then they are not being responsible, in quote?
Well, I was going to say that's their own problem, but the truth about the matter is it is not a good thing. Okay, so first of all, like the Bible said, the man will leave the parents' home, okay, and attach himself with the woman. And right from the very beginning in Genesis, when man and woman, okay, Adam and Eve, were taken out of the Garden of Eden, and God was assigning roles and responsibilities to them. Man was to till the soil, okay, and sweat and get something as a living. The woman wasn't given that responsibility. Okay, so on the basis of my faith as a Christian, it is indeed the responsibility of a man to put in the maximum effort in order to take care of the family. If the man is not doing that, it becomes a little bit problematic, okay, because then you're expecting too much from the woman. I'm not saying a woman cannot equally fend for the family, because we have a lot of instances where single mothers have been able to take care of their family, let's say children, and I don't think even if there was a man available, things would have been better anyway. So, like I said, the first point of call should be the fact that it should be a gender-based role. Then, within it, there should be some level of flexibility, so that as and when things would have to change, then the couple will have to sit down and look at the facts on the table and apply those changes.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Ken, do you think a man should be supportive enough as to helping the wife to cook, wash, clean, and doing other things for a wife?
All right, so this is a very interesting question, and I think most men should try as much as they can, okay? In as much as you may want to be that responsible kind of a man, and for each reason you need to step out of the house and go and work to bring money, you should also find time to support your partner, your wife, in places where under normal circumstance should be the position of the wife in terms of her responsibilities. And notably among those places is the kitchen. Now, when you support your partner in those places, you are not only supporting her in the work she's doing over there, but then you are creating a bond, okay? So just as any kind of work, okay, when you are working alone, the vibe is different, okay, than when you are working with somebody, okay? So sometimes you know that, okay, even if I get it wrong, there's a backup, or somebody has my back in terms of getting it right. And I think, there's a popular saying that goes like, when you want to go fast, you go alone, but when you want to go far or further, you should have company. So I believe supporting your partner in the kitchen or wherever the need may be, taking care of the kids, bathing children or whatever, forms bond. It is not necessarily, or men shouldn't see that as helping their wife fulfill their part of their responsibility, but then it should be a matter of helping them or helping the family to bond, because washing together, there will be some conversation, okay, cooking together, there will be some conversation, and it will help the family other than seeing it as you helping your wife to work. And for a lot of men who do that and do that generously out of their hearts, okay, you find that their women also try as much as they can to also support their men, because they know that, oh, this man will go and work harder than I am doing, earning more than I'm doing, and still come and support me in the kitchen. So what then can I also do in order to ease the burden on him? And that's what works for a lot of people that I know.
So Ken, don't you think by helping your wife do her responsibilities, some ladies would want to take advantage of that because they feel what they are supposed to do, their husbands are doing it for them?
All right, so I'm glad you said some ladies, because probably not all ladies would want to do that. And of course, there's a saying that goes that familiarity breeds content. Okay, so when people become too familiar with certain things, then they become content. They feel it is their birthright for them to have men in the kitchen helping them. So it is something the family or the man and the woman should carefully manage, okay? So for instance, and I keep on saying this, that there should be some level of flexibility with whichever arrangement you decide to go with, okay? So as and when it becomes necessary for you to change certain things, you change. But you see, at the end of the day, change should be a positive change and not a negative one. Okay. So there shouldn't be a change that, okay, my wife thinks I should always come to the kitchen and come and wash dishes, and for which reason I'm now changing, so I'm not doing that. There should be some kind of a setup to tell your wife that, well, I'm doing this to support you, and you are supposed to bond out of this. Okay, so if for some reason we are not achieving the objective for which we decided to go on this path, then definitely we should have a setup or a sit-down talk and do a review of this. So I was reading an article recently on social media, and this woman says something like, at the end of every 6 months, she does something with her husband they call checking. Okay, so the check-in is basically to set up as a couple, ask each other questions. What am I doing right in this marriage? What can I improve? How am I pleasing you? Because at the end of the day, it should be more focused on you pleasing your partner and also making sure that you are doing it right. Because in my mind or in your mind as an individual, you may think you are doing it right, but your partner may not be receiving that properly. So if partners or marriage people are supposed to have that essence of responsibility that, okay, I'm doing this for my wife, but in some regard, I feel my wife is taking advantage of the situation and now putting everything on me. Then maybe in that check-in conversation, you try as much as possible to lay the facts, you bring it up, and you try and find means and ways to correct things that are beginning to turn around. Because at the end of the day, it is most important that you understand that this is what you are doing and there's a reason. The reason is not to help you, but the reason is for you to bond. So if it is not achieving its purpose, then you should try and talk about it.
Oh, okay, thank you. My cherished viewers, today's episode has been very, very, very interesting. And my guest for today is Kenneth Bruni. My wonderful outfit was made by Donafil Creation. She deals in both men and women wear. And she is really located at Kasua Walantu. You can call her on 0245 836382. I thank you for my beautiful outfit. Mr. Ken, yes. It was a pleasure having you in my studio.
All right, thank you very much.
Hope to see you again.
Definitely. Anytime.
Thank you. My wonderful viewers, please, I'd still want you to subscribe, share, like, comment Umseeka TV on YouTube till we meet again. Bye-bye.